بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الله وآله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to our Saturday Circle session today. The topic is going to be about Zakah, Zakat 101, or just essential matters about the main important issues about the Zakah. When you talk about zakah here, we are going to talk about zakat al-mal. Zakat al-fitr, we already mentioned a few things about it recently. And for this year, zakat al-fitr is $10 per person in the family. Okay, we already opened the masjid from 4 to 6. You could drop your zakat here or online at our website as well, $10 per person. And also we have applications here and on the WhatsApp group. You could download it and fill it out and bring it to the masjid. So Zakat 101, basically we are going to talk about the basic rules about zakat. Zakat al-mal means the wealth, how you give and you pay your zakat. So let's move. Zakat, as we know, is one of the main pillars of Islam, as the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, authentic hadith, بني الإسلام وعلى خمس. Islam is based or built on 5 foundations, and the first one is a shahada, to testify there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Muhammad is his messenger, and to perform prayer, to pay zakat, which is giving the alms or zakah, and the fourth is the fast month of Ramadan, and the fifth is performing al-Hajj once alive. Okay, so zakat is the second one, establishing the third one. I mean, establishing, giving shahada, then salah, then zakah is the third one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in the Quran a lot. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. All the time, join between the two commands, praying and paying, praying salah and paying az-zakah. So so that's the what we call the proof from the Quran and the Sunnah and ijma' al-sahaba, ijma' al-ulama. It's an agreement, a consensus among all the Muslim scholars and the ummah in the history that zakat is agreed upon as one of the foundations, one of the pillars of Islam. Okay, zakatable wealth. What kinds of wealth you should and you must pay zakat from? So we have gold and silver, which now is the currency. They don't deal with the gold and silver, they deal with papers which represent the gold and silver, and the business commodities and livestock, the animals, and also agriculture product, and the rikas, which is what we call treasures that you find, or resources, the land resources that people they found, like gas and gold you find underground in your land. So that's the one of them, and every part of this has its own nisab and also the value that you should pay in the zakah. Okay, the calculation guide, how it works. So we have the cash, which includes, as you see in the slide here, the and money in checking account or saving account, non-delinquent loans. I mean, the loans that you give somebody and you expect to receive them. He's going to pay you. Not the loans just forgot. He's not going to give. This is, you shouldn't, I mean, pay for that until you get that. Refundable deposit, like deposit for the rent, your apartment, your house, or whatever, exclude any interest which which takes place from any of these accounts. So the interest, it's not allowed. It doesn't mean it's allowed for you to do it, but if any interest, I mean, accumulated in any one of these accounts, you're supposed not to pay zakat from this interest. This interest is supposed to be, I mean, given somewhere. Don't use it, don't consume it, don't consume it for yourself or your family. The stocks and investments. So include all kinds of stocks, mutual funds, bonds, IRS, and IRA, I mean, IRA, whatever kind you have. Also, uh, include all what we call uh, just when we talk about IRA, if you want to, it's not in your hand, so you cannot control it, okay? Or any retirement fund, you cannot be in control of that. But what you need to pay out of, you need to get the whole amount minus the penalties that you're going to you have to pay, and also the taxes. Get those minus of the main amount, and you pay the zakat from the rest. The gold and silver, including silver and gold in hand, certificates, jewelries, utensils, if somebody has utensils from gold and silver, and also here we have to talk about jewelries of personal use for female, for women. According to Jumhur al-Ulama, there's no, I mean, zakat for that unless the amount exceeding, I mean, the normal amount for a normal use. Also, unless the lady or the person is keeping this gold or silver just to keep the value, or to keep his wealth in that kind of money. And the business also includes all kind of business accounts, cash in hand and stocks for your business, also inventory and account receivable. If whatever inventory merchandise you have in your business, you have to calculate to check what the amount and how much on a wholesale scale, so you pay from that. Um, Okay. So you have to calculate the business net worth minus equal the assets minus the liabilities, and whatever debt or payment you have to pay, the rent, etc. You have to minus all of those from what you have, and you pay the zakat from the rest. The real estate and rental properties. You have also include value of any real estate, the value of that beside, I mean, your own home that you live in. So your own house, you don't pay zakat for it. Your own car that you use, you don't pay zakat for. Okay. So the real estate, as we said, the value of the real estate that you have for investment, and for the rental, you have to pay from the income of the rental, not from the property that you set for the rent. And the salaries and bonuses include also take home salaries and bonuses. And so if you have the nisab for the entire year, you pay from that nisab when we talk about how much you should pay. Okay, the cash include all cash on hand and money in checking and saving accounts, non-delinquent loans, okay, and because you are expecting to have them soon, okay, refundable deposits, you have to pay also from that zakat from that, exclude any interest, as we said, which occurred from these accounts, okay. Even as we mentioned earlier, interest is not allowed to have it or to use it, or to, but if you get it, you should, I mean, get rid of it, and you don't pay zakat from for that interest. Stock and investments include all stocks, common, preferred stocks, whatever you have to pay from the real value of the stock that you have, okay. And also the mutual funds, the options, futures, contracts that you have, bonds, treasuries, and IRS, as we mentioned earlier, pension plans, 401k and 403b include only what we mentioned, also that one. So you have to get the whole amount minus, okay, the interest minus the penalty that is going to be applied on you if you withdraw that money, especially for the pensions and the IRA. And also any taxes going to be applied to you if you withdraw that money. So then you pay from what's left. Okay. The gold and silver include all kind of silver and gold that you have in hand, include here current value of gold. So when we talk about the current value of gold right now, and silver certificates, coins, and luxury items, jewelry is not subject to zakat according to Jumhur al-Ulama if it's for normal use for women. Okay, but Imam Abu Hanifa, he said you have to pay zakat for that. So we have two main opinions. But unless the intention for having this gold and silver is to keep it as a store of wealth, okay, or its amount is beyond the customary use, it's really a lot of gold and silver. In this case, you have to pay zakat from it. Utensils and tools. If somebody has any utensils or tools made of gold, also you have to evaluate how much is that and to pay the zakat from that. The business, if you have a business, include all kind business accounts that you have, all categories, saving and checking, whatever you have, cash of that business in your hand, stocks if you have stocks under your business name too, and inventory. When you talk about the inventory, the value of the inventory that you have, of the merchandise that you have, based on the whole sale, value, not the retail, but the wholesale. Mm. Account receivables, because we have some accounts you are going to get the money. We are expecting to have them. So those also are your money, and you have to check how much and to pay the zakat from them. The business network equal assets minus liabilities. So means the taxable, the zakatable amount is equal all the assets that you have in your business minus the liabilities. Okay, like debt, you have to pay, like the rent, like the bills that you have to pay, the salaries of your employees, you have to get them, all of them out during that month, and you pay the zakat from the rest. The real estate and the rental properties include the value of any real estate other than primary home, excluding your home that you live in. Okay, so all other, properties you have to pay from the value of that property at the current time. Let's say secondary home, you have to pay zakat from it. It's not, for living, so you have to do that. Net income from the rental property. If you have a rental property, one, two, three, whatever number, you have to calculate how much the income from that and how much you gathered and how much you collected, and you pay from that net income from that rental, not from the value of the property itself. Okay, the salaries and bonuses, it's okay, it's based here also on when we go by having the nisab. So you have to pay from that, because the salary, including take home salary and bonuses after taxes, you pay from it. Okay, zakat rate. What's the rate for the zakat? How much you pay from each one of these? The above types of wealth you mentioned, it's from 1 to 6 is 1.5%. Okay, annually, if they reach the nisab individually or collectively. Because if you have different kind of wealth, there's cash money, rental properties, stocks, all of these, you could, if each one of them reach the nisab, the amount that you're supposed to have to be, required to pay zakat. So you could check them everyone at by itself, but otherwise you could collect them all together and you pay the zakat from the whole sum that you have. That's for the gold and silver and cash money and whatever related from the businesses. For the agriculture product, we have two kinds. We are going to talk basically about the money and cash and gold and silver and what's related, but we mention here just these few details about the others. For agricultural product, watered by artificial means and rain. Okay, So 5% if you water your product, your agriculture, your farm, you use your machine, you use different kind of tools, you use money basically you invested in tools and to water your product. So that you pay 5% of what you have, and 10% for agricultural product watered only by rain. Okay, it's free rain from the sky, and 20% for treasures called al-rikaz of the earth, the minerals, oil, natural gas, spring water, whatever you have. And also they talk about the rakas. If you find something underground, you're digging to build your house and you found, wow, I have a lot of gold, you have to pay not 2.5, not 5, not 10, but khums, what it means, one fifth, which is 20 percent. And nisab, what's a nisab? So here you have to have, according to the conditions for the person to pay zakat, you have to have hawal and hawal, and we have to have an nisab, means you have to have the pass of the whole lunar year. Okay, let's say if you pay zakat in Ramadan on 27th of Ramadan, you wait till the next year. On the 27th of coming Ramadan, your zakat will be due. Okay, so that's al-hawl. But an-nisab is zakat is due only on zakatable wealth that reaches an established minimum threshold for that particular kind of wealth. The threshold is called an-nisab, means the amount of money that you collected and you have it for the entire year, called an-nisab. So you have to pay the percentage that's required from that kind or category of wealth. So as for today, I just checked, today is May 16, 2020, Ramadan 23rd, 1441. Nisab is equal to the price of 3 ounces of gold. 3 ounces of gold means 85 grams. 85 grams. Uh, as of today, May 16, I just checked online that these 3 ounces are equal to around 5,256. This is the nisab. If you have this amount of money in hand since last year, since the beginning of the year, and you have, till now you have this one, or from the beginning you have and now you have it, or more than that, so you have to pay 2.5%. 3 ounces of gold times today, as today is each ounce is 1752 $1,750, and the total amount will be $5,256. This is the gold, and we have which is 20 dinars, golden dinar, because the Prophet ﷺ, amara zakat to be given from the amount that you have. If you have 20 golden dinar, you have to pay 2.5%, and 20 dinar, a dinar Islamic dinar, it's 3 ounces of gold. It's equal to 5,250 $6, 52, basically $56. Yeah, $56. What about silver? Because two main what we call tools of exchanging the product. We have the gold and the silver, and the silver, it's really cheap now, cheaper, way cheaper than the gold. Which one we're supposed to use as a standard? Which one we're supposed to use to establish the nisab? So most of the scholars, they say, now they said gold is more stable, and really if a person has that one, he's ghani, he is rich. But if a person has just 25 ounces of silver, and the silver ounce is $16 and point 0.8 as today, means the whole amount will be just $352.8. A person who has this amount of money is not considered as a rich person. Is not considered as a rich person. It depends also in some countries, okay, but here in the US, it's not rich at all. So, but if you have in saving in what you collected, the 5,256, that's how we can use that standard to pay your zakat out of that, which is 2.5%. Here, here is a zakat calculation worksheet, instructions and notes. I took this part from the Zakat Foundation. If you go to Zakat Foundation, they have a guidebook about zakat. This is beautiful one. You could use it. I could share it with you in the comments. So here, the personal wealth. We talk about the personal wealth. Here you talk about number one, personal cash on hand and in bank account, and you see the amount available for you right now, so is under that, and also the zakat rate, how much, and the zakat due. Number one, we have a personal cash on hand and in okay, uh, personal, just a minute, personal cash on hand and in bank account. If that's what you use. You put your name there and zakat due date and the year. Let's say you put your name here, and today is Ramadan, let's say 27th and after Hijrah. So the personal item, the personal wealth, number one, personal cash on hand and in bank accounts. How much amount available for you right now you have? You put it here, okay? And the percentage, the zakat rate is 2.5%, and you calculate how much due from that, and the total value of gold, silver, and precious items. And we said beside the normal use that the women use for her, I mean, just a normal use, it's out of that according to most of the scholars. Number three, total value of stocks, shares, and bonds is 2.5% too. And loans made to others and expect to be paid back to you. Also, this is 2.5%. And number six, other expected receivables such as estimated tax refunds. Let's say you are expected to have a tax within a week, refundable deposits for rent, for whatever you gave that deposit, and salary or professional payments you are entitled to as of zakat's due date. Let's say zakat due date for you is the 27th of Ramadan, and those you're supposed to get them by that time or earlier, means you have to pay zakat from them. So you could just write down in each item here how much amount available, and the zakat rate is 2.5%. And also you could calculate how much percentage you are going to get for zakat. The business wealth, number seven, business cash on hand and in bank account as well. You apply the same thing, is 2.5% rate. Net value of business inventory or any trade goods, and here also we talk about the wholesale price, not the retail price. And the total business receivables as of zakat due date as well. Number 10, net income from businesses or exploited assets during the year. And number 11, current value of real estate properties, okay, held for investments or sale, okay, and either for the investments to sell them or for investment like a rental. So for the rental, you have to pay from the amount that you gathered, you got from the rentals. And for sale, if you put some properties for sale, you have to pay the zakat from the whole amount of the net of the what we call the value of that property. Number 12, zakat total. So enter all of these from 1 to 11 as sum of 1 through 11 column. If 12 is less than nisab, enter 0. Nisab, we mentioned nisab is 5,200 $56. If all of these for you is less than 5,256, as we see here, here is the amount. If these your amount is less than this, put zero, means you have to pay nothing zakat. Okay, if more than 5,256, let's say 6,000, 10,000, you put it here. If you have 10,000 here and the 2.5% of 10,000, you put it in here, zakat 12, which will be like $250. And you have you put it here first, then you have to go to to check here the deductions, the outstanding necessary debt. If you have that, you have to pay it back. You have to put it here. Okay, you have to deduct it, and the debt is a personal debt, or like a business debt. You have to pay it, not like a mortgage for your home or for your car for 30 years. You say, yeah, I bought the house, $200, $1,000. I have this debt. What I have now, just $20,000. I'm not required to pay zakat. No, no. You could just deduct the payment just for that month. That's it. Not for the upcoming years and years. No. Okay, so the outstanding necessary debts, zakat paid in advance during the year. Let's say if a person pays zakat in advance before Ramadan and it's due on Ramadan, so he has to calculate to put that one also here. So you have here the outstanding debt here, number 13, Z13, and 14 you pay whatever you have paid, put it here, Z14, and the total deduction, Z15, you put them here. Then the remaining is 12 minus 15, and we get zakat 16. So you have the whole amount, total zakat is 12. It will be here, as you see in Z12, minus the total deductions, and you will find the net that you have to pay from your amount. Here is an example, like this is Amjad Shah. He has this amount of what they call wealth. See here in the personal wealth, 4,000. 4,000 means $100 zakat, like 25 dollars per thousand. And if you go the total value of stocks, 12,548, it turned to be this amount, 313. Total cash value and of retirement account and IRA and stuff like that, it's 15,000. He has to pay this amount. Loans and expected to be paid back 1,500. Other expected receivables accounts and refunds 3,000. And okay, and you go to the business wealth, you will find also 5,500 for the business cash in hand and account. Net value of business, nothing. Inventory here, maybe this is like a business services. Total business receivable as of zakat due 2,000. And net income from business also 7 8. And current value of real estate 120,000. And zakat total is, if you calculate, you add all of these, you will get to $171,340. And the whole, I mean, zakat due is 4,283.5. So here, what can we do? We do the deductions. If you go down, the outstanding necessary debts, nothing, it's zero. Okay, if you have something, some debt, put them here. But this person, he doesn't have. Zakat paid in advance during the year is 2,200. Okay, so the whole amount is this. Okay, he has to pay. Okay, we have the deduction two. So the whole amount is 4,283 minus the 2,200, and the balance is 2,000. $83.5. This is the amount of zakat this person is supposed to pay. I mean, you could follow this one. I will add it to the comment here, and you could download it and use it. It's simple and easy. Who collects zakat? Zakat is supposed to be collected by institution. Zakat is one of the collective duties the ummah, the state, the government, or the ummah should has its institution to collect and to distribute. And here, as we are in the US, we have Islamic centers, we have different institutions. We are responsible to collect this zakat and to distribute to the needy people within our community. And that's a really, really important because many people they prefer to send their zakat overseas. Man, you get the money here and you get paid here and you work in this place and your zakat you have to pay it here. Okay, that's the whole Muslim scholars they talk about it. Unless some exceptions, you could pay me, but not to pay all of your money overseas or to the people in other countries. First, you are responsible for those needy people in your area. As the Prophet ﷺ said, تُؤْخَذُ مِنْ أَغْنِيَائِهِمْ وَتُرَدُّ عَلَى فُقَرَائِهِمْ. You should take it from the rich and distribute it to the needy and poor people. Okay, so the Islamic Center of Quad Cities here is collecting the zakat, zakat al-fitr, and zakat al-mal as well. And we have a list of people, needy people, and we will distribute it to them, inshallah. So you could pay your zakat online at icqconline.org, or you could come by. The masjid will be open from tomorrow, I mean, from today even from 4 to 6 every day, from 4 to 6 p.m. You could drop your zakat, you could drop your zakat al-fitr, which is $10 per person, or zakat al-mal, 2.5% from whatever nisab that you have. I mean, your money beyond the nisab that you have. And also we have zakat application for those people who are in need to receive some zakat. Please come and pick one and fill it out and drop it here at the office. Then we will be happy to assist you and to help you out. Okay, distribution of zakat. This, as we mentioned, Islamic Center of Quad Cities is responsible for collecting and distributing zakat in our local community of the Quad Cities, and distribute it to all, I mean, categories available in our community according to Surah At-Tawbah, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the receivers or recipients of zakat. Transfer of zakat, we mentioned that earlier. Zakat supposed to be collected from the rich and distributed to the poor people of the same area. That's how it works, because our responsibility extended as we are in the community. We have to cover those who are in need within our community. Then if it's covered, we have to move beyond and move beyond and to move beyond. Okay, till because some people they say, oh no, back home in Africa, back home here, they are more poorer than here. Yes, they are, but it's not your business. Your business to pay. You are responsible for those who are here. تؤخذ من أغنيائهم وترد على فقرائهم. Okay, and if you want to have those there, you could pay from a general sadaqah, not zakat, because zakat has its rules and conditions as well. Okay, transfer zakat according, you see, the madahib, the whole madahib, they are not allowed it. Okay, all of them they said not allowed. Abu Hanifi said makruh. Okay, so in this case, even if you go by al-karaha, at least you have to assign a big part here in the community. We have several families, they need assistance and they need help. And you could send maybe some of your zakat to those who are your relatives and people in need wherever you belong to. Okay, so you pay to the local community, and we are going to help, inshallah, distribute it in our local community. Who are the recipients of zakat? The recipients of zakat is not by your or our choice. We choose them. I give this one or this one. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described them. He said, Surah At-Tawbah, إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل. 8 categories. So the poor, assistance, poor, and the poverty line, they are really على الحديدة. هذا على أساس العلماء they talk about what the difference between the الفقير والمسكين. It's one of the terms, if they mention together, they are different, but only if one of them mention include both of them. So they said al-faqir is poorer than the miskin, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said في سورة الكهف وأما السفينة فكانت لمساكين يعملون في البحر. So even they are masakin and they have what we call safina, a boat. They use it for fishing and working in the sea. So the poor assistant for the need, the poor and the poverty line, unemployed, and especially now, as we said earlier, if you have zakat, make sure to pay it locally. We have several people now, a lot of families unemployed. And today we did a drive-through, man, we have a lot, a huge number of our neighbors. Even for today, we have different, I mean, Muslim and non-Muslims, they come in. But for zakat, it has its own different also conditions. Needy assistance, or the needy people who need assistance, physically disabled, permanent health conditions, and legal defense. I mean, they have, but they need more to help themselves. Okay, employees, collectors of zakat, العاملين عليها. As we know, zakat is an institution, is not like a personal duty. You have to collect and to distribute by yourself. No, it has to be collected through an institution, zakat institution, which already built into Islamic history, Islamic Khilafah, Islamic Ummah. They have their own, across the history, zakat institution, and it took care of a lot of needs of the community. So one of the recipients are the employees in this institution, those who collect the zakat and the administration also. As for our masjid, we don't pay this one to there is no employees for that. So we are from the masjid, we have volunteers, we have people who run the masjid. We just collect the money and send it, basically give it to the poor and the needy. Most of the recipients are these, the needy people, the first two categories. Reconciling hearts, في سبيل الله, المؤلفة قلوبهم. I mean, if somebody, they potential converts or new Muslims, those are reconciling hearts. Even they are rich, if they have money, you give them. It's not because they are poor, but because you want to earn their hearts and to strengthen their iman and their faith. Okay. Also the prisoners, transition house in the state, maybe to help them when they move out from the prison. You could help them in that. Freedom startup grants and inmate allowances. This is what we call yeah then the debtors, في سبيل الله وابن السبيل والغارمين. And here for those الغارمون, emergency medical grants, disaster victims and crimes victims. You could help those to pay their debt. Okay. For ابن السبيل, the one who is traveler, is coming, let's say, في سبيل الله, this في سبيل الله, Islamic education, poor student, Islamic school infrastructure, and teachers of Quran and Islamic studies could be included in these. Dawah programs, Islamic media could be included in these recipient categories. And wayfarers, those what we call ibn al-sabil, somebody traveling from country to country and he's stuck. These days, we have a lot of people stuck everywhere. Before the coronavirus hit, and when they stopped the travelers, traveling in the airplanes and stuff, and they locked the borders. Many people everywhere, they were locked down and they stuck in their places, and no job, nothing. So those, even back home, they have money, let's say, and they have properties, but they cannot get the money there. So you have to give them and to help them out, which are who are, I mean, non-residents and moving also residents, and they need support from the zakat. Okay, this is in brief. Hopefully, it clarifies some issues about zakat, and inshallah, will receive any question. If you have any question, you could send it to us here, and to the masjid, or to our group, or to an email, or also on the Facebook. And yeah. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.